Revenge films.
I was living with my husband and my daughter and my son, and as a happy family of 4. My husband's salary supported our family, and he was able to build us a pretty amazing house early on. My husband had a younger brother, and this is a story about his terrible wife, Karen. My brother-in-law really looked up to his older brother, and that was my husband, and he was really kind to my children and me. But his wife, Karen...
Your brother built such a lovely house early on for his family. I want to live in one too.
She started making such crazy demands, and because my brother-in-law was a good person, he increased his overtime and worked extra hard. His efforts were praised at work, and after working tooth and nail for 3 years, he saved up his bonus every year in order to give his demanding wife what she wanted. He put it all into a deposit for the house. Of course, she was thrilled by the purchase. However, shortly after, I was wondering why I haven't seen Karen in a while. When I found out,
I don't want to bring any COVID germs into the house after going to the office.
That was her reason behind forcing her husband to rent a weekly apartment near his office, almost as if he was on the transfer assignment. Apparently, more than half the rent was covered by the company, so it wasn't a big financial burden, but I still found it questionable. But my brother-in-law also had children, and the request wasn't completely unreasonable, so he quietly obliged. On the other hand, she told her parents, as well as her husband's parents, also my in-laws,
I'm working full-time at my part-time job, so I'm not really able to look after the kids. Plus, because of COVID, I haven't been able to see my friends, and the stress is piling up. So, can you take care of them?
And she was often leaving her kids with either parents. However, we later found out that working full-time was a lie, and she had quit her part-time job a long time ago. To make matters worse, with no husband and no children in the house, she was bringing in her boyfriend and thoroughly enjoying an affair in her family's home. Apparently, her reason for keeping her husband out and leaving the children with the parents was also that she can enjoy cheating in her brand new house with her boyfriend. Not only that, but we even found out that she had used up all of brother-in-law's savings that he had been collecting since before he got married, nearly $100,000, and spent it all on her boyfriend and their luxurious fun together. When we discovered the affair, even though her parents had no idea ultimately, they felt responsible and they both got down on their knees to apologize to my brother-in-law and his family. My in-laws as well, despite having back and knee problems, believed they were looking after their grandchildren for honest reasons, and when they found out the truth, they were devastated. In order to discuss the divorce, amongst other things, my husband joined his parents and the two families managed to have a conversation, but Karen said something so unbelievable it shocked everyone.
I guess we have no choice but to get a divorce, so let's say that all of the money I used would be taken care of as a separation of assets. And I guess the settlement fee should be around $30,000. We also need to decide on child support fees,
was what she had to say. Of course, everybody dropped their jaws as they explained to her that her husband's assets from them before they got married wouldn't be considered in the separation, and that the person with the advantage was her husband, and that, if anything, she would be the one paying the settlement fees. My niece and nephew were in the 6th and 5th grade respectively, so they were able to understand what their mother had done, and my husband said that he had to explain to Karen that her children had no intention of going with her, but instead her response was,
Huh? Why am I not getting the settlement fee? But I'm the wife!
And was livid. No offense to my brother-in-law, but we all couldn't help but wonder why he married such a stupid woman in the first place. My husband was especially confused, but then her father chimed in.
Are you kidding me? Do you have any idea what you've done? What makes you think that you, as the one who cheated and betrayed your own family, should be able to get any settlement fee? Apologize to everyone, now!
Her parents lost it, and they smacked her until she stopped talking, because she continued to berate her husband, my husband, and his parents. When she finally seemed to realize that she wouldn't be able to get any settlement or child support fees, Karen tried to say,
Well, then I refuse to get a divorce. I'll just live somewhere else for now, so give me the money.
She was still demanding.
This is what you've done. Of course you're going to be divorced. Do you still not understand?
She was once again smacked by her parents. In the end, the conversation was going nowhere with Karen, so they kicked her out of the house and decided on the following. First, the obvious, that they would be getting a divorce and my brother-in-law would get full custody of their children. Our family, as well as her family, all agreed to support him and take turns helping out with the kids. It was also decided that Karen's parents would front the settlement fees to my brother-in-law for now. After the divorce, Karen's parents and my brother-in-law would technically become strangers, but apparently her parents were so ashamed and felt responsible for the whole disaster, so they apologized and insisted on helping with their grandchildren if my brother-in-law would allow it. In an act of disowning their daughter, they decided to sell all of their assets that they were going to pass on to their daughter, Karen, in order to pay the settlement fee. When Karen found out,
Are you kidding me? If there was an inheritance for me, then of course I should be getting it. I'm getting a divorce from this guy anyway, so you don't need to give him a single penny.
she thought she could say that, but
We already knew that if we left it to you, you wouldn't pay a single dollar of the settlement fee that you're required to. That's why we're going to pay it in the most secure way. Plus, you're no longer our daughter. You're nothing to us now. That's why you have no right to say anything in regards to our inheritance.
it was a loud altercation once again. In the end, they were able to wrap up the discussion, and my brother-in-law also collected a settlement fee from Karen's boyfriend. Apparently, he quickly admitted to the affair and said that he would pay the settlement fee in full in one payment. In return, he got down on his knees and begged to not say anything to his company, which my brother-in-law accepted. However, he was able to collect an even larger settlement fee from him, and right after that, Karen was swiftly dumped by that man. I guess that's all she meant to him in the first place. A little while after that, after losing everything, Karen contacted me for some reason. Everybody had already blocked Karen, knowing that there was no point trying to reason with her. But I wasn't there for any of it, and I had only heard about everything from my husband. I never would have thought that she would try to contact me, so I hadn't blocked her contact. I ignored her the first few times, but then I got a message saying that she wanted to discuss something about her kids, so I reluctantly picked up the phone. But then not once did she mention her kids. I was annoyed as I listened to her rant on the phone. She called everyone in her family and my husband's family crazy, questioning why she would have to pay the settlement fee as a woman, and especially said that my husband blamed her for everything and brainwashed everyone to agree. In the end, she was asking me to talk to my husband and put him on the right path. That, as a fellow woman, I should understand, and other nonsense. I wasn't present for any of the discussions, but I already knew what a piece of crap Karen was. But she said it was about her children, so I thought it might be an emergency, and I decided to answer her. And this was the result. I was reaching my limit. You just said that my husband was putting all of the blame on you.
But isn't that exactly the case?
Even if you brought 100 people here, I'm sure they would all agree.
Excuse me? What did you say?
Moreover, you had such a kind husband, and yet you purposely made him temporarily move out. And you even left your kids, just so that you could have an affair. On top of that, you spent almost $100,000 of someone else's money. I can't wrap my head around how you can even say you're not to blame. Even the most evil woman is smarter than you, since they at least know the crimes they're committing.
Are you kidding me? Even though I was nice enough to call you?
I am perfectly fine if you never call me again. Actually, please, don't even think about calling me. It makes my head hurt talking to trash like you. Then, on the other end of the phone, I heard her scream and yell and throw a tantrum, but I just hung up and, of course, blocked on the spot. Later, even though the inheritance could have been hers, when she realized that she had nothing left, she apparently stormed into my brother-in-law's office, but she was arrested by the police there. She was told that if she were to continue doing this, that she may be put behind bars, and after that, she disappeared. That said, she no longer had her husband or family to support her, nor did she have a place to live. Now homeless, I'm sure she wouldn't be able to find a job either. She had no future. But she did all of this to herself. She did all of that, and yet somehow still believed that she would be able to receive the settlement fee, which only leads to me to believe that she is a true idiot. As for my brother-in-law, after that, he apologized to everybody, and we are all supporting him and his children now as he gets back on his feet. Well, I do question some things about him, but he is a genuinely good guy, so I do hope he finds a good girl someday.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.